Hello, everyone. Welcome to the VR Verdict Podcast, episode 149, our weekly podcast where we talk about everything VR. I'm PJ,
I'm Wookiee.
and we're back to share VR with you.
Oh,
So it's been a while. Um, Different format for now, and see how this goes. So before we get to VR stuff, how you been?
I've just been busy
Yeah.
still, just
Um,
doing stuff.
yeah, life gets crazy some days. Um,
Mm.
So yeah, here we are zooming it up, which we've never done. We're used to being in VR, so this is quite strange. So hi, this is PJ.
It was on Discord before, and then I was like, hey, let's try in VR. Now it's in Zoom for a little bit.
Yeah. Um, I don't even know how long it's been. I guess I could look real quick at when the last time we June. So
June.
it's been a
Wow.
bit. Um, but we've had a lot of people wanting to chat, so we're trying to get back on the saddle and get things going. So thought we'd start with a test episode with just the two of us on Zoom. So here we are. A lot's been going on in the VR world and otherwise. So before we get into that, like, um, anything you want to share, anything you've been doing, or you'd rather just talk about VR?
Uh, yeah, just like, life stuff's going on. Nobody wants to hear about that, I'm sure. Video game world, non-VR stuff. I've just been playing, Starfield, and before that I was playing Baldur's Gate 3 a bit. But I don't know if you want to get heavy into the non-VR there, but yeah, that's about all I've been up to in the gaming world.
Yeah. Um, yeah, like we could talk just as much, if not more, non-VR gamings, and it's we've always contemplated doing like different episodes for different mediums or systems or whatever you want to get into. But yeah, we played Baldur's Gate co-op a little bit. And you just wanted to kind of get used to the game because you've never played one like that, and it's a hell of a game. Like there's a lot to it.
Oh God, yeah. Like the first time we played it, their multiplayer stuff is really neat the way it's set up, but it's also like the only thing I really don't like about it is you can't take your friend's character out of the party.
Yeah.
So, and it's in your save. Like there's no like, here's my account and all that stuff. So PJ joins up and then I go and they're like, I have no idea what I'm doing. So I'm dragging us down. I take a, you know, special break by myself to figure stuff out. And there's PJ's character. And I'm like, what do I do here? Do I level up for him? Do I leave him? It was odd. So then started a solo save. And then I had like a Two Towers battle moment, which I wish I was recording because it was like a 40-minute thing. And I got pushed off, like my main character got shoved off like a two-story wall. It was in that goblin encampment that you
Mm-hmm.
kind of get to. And, PJ and I were playing. Uh, I don't know what the hell was going on, but somehow we were friends with him, and this time I was not. And I thought I was clever. I snuck over this thing, ran across this tree, got all the stuff set up, and there were holes in the walls where they were kind of going in the hole on the first floor, coming out a hole on the third floor, coming up behind me. And it was real close. There's an ogre trying to beat the crap out of me, all sorts of stuff. When I got pushed off the hill, there was like 30 goblins, and the ogre were like charging right at my busted body, and I still managed to win. I was like, what the hell? That was probably the best time ever.
Yeah, it's pretty. That game is nuts. I actually haven't played it much for a long time because I got it on PC and then they bumped the Xbox version and then they made the move I wanted them to make and they're like, "Hey, we'll put this out on Series X and then we'll get to it on the other one." And I've been kind of waiting till it comes out because I'd rather play it there. With the cross save, then if you when you are ready, we can hop back in and stuff. But because Starfield came out, and then I'm like, well, let me get into that until they release Baldur's Gate. So, but I put like at least 40 to 60 hours in on both and kind of paused a little bit because then VR world got crazy again and other things were coming out and then life like got busy. So I've never been so spread out game wise right now. Like I'm playing things on like PS5, Xbox, Nintendo, VR. Like it's insane.
I can't do that.
Yeah.
We've talked about that before too, but it's just like I get like, in the zone for one, and if I even take a break to play like something with, you and our cousin or a nephew Logger, like we played some VR World War II planes, whatever combat that game is, and I don't know what was wrong with me. Like we had a dogfight match. Like the last thing we played was like the most intense thing ever. Just one on, or three versus three, whatever we call it, free for all with three of us.
Yeah.
And Logger kept trying to do the Top Gun, like pull up and hit the brakes, and something would fly right by him. No, and I'm like, I'm not having that. So I was hitting the flaps and like hovering behind him. Totally nailed him. But that was like the most intense thing ever. And then I was like, I guess I don't need to play Starfield. Like my brain was just like, let's do more of that. I'm like, nobody's playing that right now. It's so weird.
Yeah. Yeah. It's, I don't know. I've been playing like 6 games like the
How?
same day. Uh,
How? Like we play TMNT Shredder's Revenge the other night because we were like, we got, GTA or Ghost Recon Breakpoint or that, and we're both kind of like, well, that one's mindless. You said it, took the words right out of my mouth. Let's just do that. And then I just like I don't remember other games. Like my brain's like, okay, get into this one, focus on what
yeah.
you're doing here, and the other stuff is just like, I don't need it. And then go back to Starfield. I'm like, how do I make a ship?
Yeah. It is nuts.
What games you been playing? Like 6 in a day. Like take us through a
So
day with PJ.
Mario Wonder just came out, and Beth and I we've played it 2 nights now, and it is a lot of fun. Good couch co-op. She's she likes old school games, like 3D games and VR. She can't do. We've talked about that. Makes her nauseous. So yeah, we had a lot of fun. We've having a lot of fun with that Mario Wonder because it took the two biggest issues with the last like 4-player Mario games out of it. So on this one, like your bodies don't collide and you can't like pick each other up and mess with each other. You can just kind of do your thing and not be bumped around by someone else. So she's been having a lot of fun with that. But Zarina, one of our friends on Twitter, posted that that team, like the same 4 guys, have been there since 1985 working on Mario. That like kind of
Yeah.
worked on Mario Wonder, and it's just like insane to me. I'm still thinking about that.
Me too. Yeah, like 5 guys made the first Mario, and 4 of them were working on this most recent Mario.
Yeah,
And
and
I'm like,
it's it's so weird that it's still like the same game, but just the innovation and things they do, like it's still new, different, and really fun. Like I don't know, that's magic to me. So um yeah, so been playing that. Wargroove 2 on the Switch came out, so we take turns on that until we get to the co-op missions. That's a game that's was inspired by
I don't even know what Wargroove is.
it's inspired by, here we go with the names of me and names of things. Advanced Wars.
Oh yeah, you told me about that. I'm sorry.
But it's more like a fantasy world. So we have fun with that. Spider-Man 2 just came out on the PS5, PS4. I've played the first hour and a half and totally blown away. I haven't finished Final Fantasy 16 on the PS5. And then Starfield, I think I played the other day, but not as much as I'd like to. So, because the VR realm has gotten nuts. So, there's where a lot of games have come in. Like the Quest 3 just came out. I'm sure anyone listening to this is aware of that, but a lot of games, gave a lot of devs gave their games a fresh coat of paint, added some AR things, updates. So that's where like a lot of things I've been playing, just checking things out. One of the games that just came out, Dungeons of Eternity, it's like a 3-player dungeon crawler, but that game is pretty epic. You get to carry 3 different weapon types at all times. So you can have on your back, you have like a bow, a crossbow, or a shield, or a staff. And there's like ice staffs, healing staff, like pretty much anything you can think of, they got it in there. And then you can have a weapon in each hip. And then there's like a melee class weapon and then like a X class weapon, and you can throw them, and it's just it's fun. Like
It looks fun. I'm tempted to try
yeah,
that one.
that's you can parry and stuff, and the game like everything from the sound to the mechanics is just really really good. Like it's incredible.
Now,
Um,
sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna keep going on and on. Like um, you find loot, and I like the way that they do loot. It doesn't slow things down. Like you find different level chests throughout each run, and each run's procedurally generated in a good way. Like it's really good. I haven't seen the same thing yet. Um, so if 3 of us are playing, you find that chest, you each get loot there, and you deal with loot after each run, so you don't have that, kind of like when you're talking about Baldur's Gate, where like you find a bunch of stuff and you each keep like stopping and let me go through this and revamp my loadout and stuff. So
Mm.
you finish the run, you go to your room and you can craft the weapons you find. You actually find like blueprints kind of thing, and then you craft it if you want it, and then you can add it. You get 3 loadouts, and you can go through that, and then there's perks you can unlock. So there's 3 game types. They're all, I mean, you're always doing the same thing. Like the gameplay never changes. It's just kind of the setup is different. So you're kind of exploring. Regular exploring is one of them. Another one is one person has a staff, and you have to like it's almost kind of like a Ghostbuster ish mode where you have to hit them with the staff, and it's kind of like a beam of light. So you have to kill them while they're kind of highlighted to get like a soul, and then you just get so many souls and you get loot that way.
Mm.
And then the third one is like you're in a single room, but the rooms are big, and it's kind of like almost wave based where you're collecting these gems. You're kind of defending the gem area, and there's a different mechanic to when you can like hit guys or not. And it's not explaining it super well, but they're all really fun, even though it's like the same. You're doing the same actions and stuff. You're just getting different rewards. Uh, but yeah, the lighting, the sound, the mechanic, like throwing an axe is like my favorite thing, even though it's super fun to use the bow and stuff. And
Yeah, if you can warp it back to you, I think like you told me you could, and
yep.
some of your videos were like you led full on running guys with an axe, and that looked pretty fun.
Yeah,
Just right in the face.
and I've been able to play co-op quite a bit um with 2 people. Who played with 3 people, and like 3 people is a lot of fun. Like there's more guys that pop up and it gets a little more intense, but yeah, it's I can't recommend that enough. But other than that, like Elysia just came out into
Open beta.
early access.
Hmm.
um and they just fixed the Quest 3 version. I had an issue on Quest 3, so I've been trying to wait because I've played the alphas and betas for like years now. Um I'm excited to check that out. It's basically World of Warcraft in VR. Um we've talked about it before a lot. Super huge world exploration quest, the whole very very much inspired by Warcraft and with like heart, so it's really neat to see that.
That's
um
cool.
yeah, then I've been checking out like some of the MRAR stuff, so like the 4VR team that they make pool and cornhole and darts and bowling.
Hmm.
Their pool game, you can literally see your room, put a actual pool table down, walk around it if you have space,
I saw your
uh,
screenshot of that. That
and
looked
play
fun.
pool. Like that's pretty neat. Um, My gaming room is just big enough to do that, but I'd like to try it in a bigger area. Um, so yeah, I mean, there's a couple. Well, there's a lot of titles that aren't released yet. I can't say, but I've been checking those out. That's like half of my list.
Oh, so you can't divulge your
Yeah,
whole full day. I think you've
yeah.
passed 6 games. If you played all those in one day, that's just insane.
I mean, um, Genotype just came out. It's a sci-fi thriller. It's got a
That's
lot
what
of
it seems
cool
really hard.
old school mechanics. Once you figure kind of out the flow, like I was having issues, not issues, but they have like their weapons are made out of aliens. So like the main weapon I was using is basically like almost like a grapple hook. And you can hit aliens with it. Because I was running out of ammo and I'm like, hey guys, I'm like, I think you gotta give us some more ammo. Um, and they kind of agreed, and that's in their first patch. So that's good to hear. But it's also like you get to these stations and you can craft ammo and upgrade your weapons and a couple other things and get perks and stuff. And I just had like so much like the currency to like craft ammo. I just wasn't really utilizing, but still a lot of fun. Like hitting people with that grappling hook shot is pretty fun. But there's these tiny little crab like things that are super hard. So those things were like the easiest thing in the game was like killing me.
Hmm.
But the atmosphere in that game is awesome. Like, um, check it out. There's a lot of videos. There's some on our YouTube thing. Um, I love the opening. You're in this like little Antarctica like tank rig thing, and I just love that kind of stuff. It's like boxy and um, the atmosphere is great. So, um, yeah. Other than that, um, like I love the I expect you to die games.
Hmm.
They just had a third one come out very recently. Halfway through that, but they also released just like uh, I don't know if it's. I'm just gonna say MR for mixed reality. I don't know if I'm supposed to say AR or MR, but um, basically you're sitting in your own room, and I love it because you start in like this box, and they're saying like you shipped yourself somewhere, and it's really cool because you like get yourself out of the box and then it's a seated experience like all those titles and it's just great like it adds stuff to your room and stuff like that. um just really neat to see stuff. And I know like a lot of people are like, is the MR side of things gimmicky, and sometimes yeah, but like not every game needs it, but the ones that use it well, and even the ones that don't need it, like I showed you that Broken Edge game I was playing that's been out for a little while. They added MR to it, so you can kind of choose the width of it's like a rift um that actually is VR, and then you can just see a room. It's actually really nice because like again, my room's kind of on the smaller side. I have like a 9 by 9 space, which is decent, but if you've seen my videos, my gaming room is in repair because I have a lot of stuff on the floor because I like too many things. So it's really cool to have that and just kind of in VR you you don't want to step on your cat. You want if you're in a space where you don't have a lot of room, very nice. It still like pulls you out of reality and lets you enjoy it and also kind of being safe. Um, or if like I have a lot of art on my walls, it's just cool to see that stuff while I'm playing a game too, type of thing. So,
Yeah.
a lot of cool stuff. Um, Again, not every game needs it or should have it, but it is neat. Like, the Aspire 2, it's kind of like, a spy game, kind of like Splinter Cell. Like the game itself was great, but when Quest 3 launched, they added like, MR missions, so you can actually like map out your whole house and it'll create like a level, and you can sneak through your house and your own like space or house and like take bad guys out and like sneak up behind them and snap their neck and
Wow.
just cool stuff.
Just make you terrified of your house.
Yeah. I haven't played I can't think of the actual name, but there's like the cabin game where it was kind of a co-op shooter game. It was basically like the zombie mode out of Call of Duty, only in VR. And I mean, that's pretty cool. But they did the thing where they made a MR version of that where, zombies come through your windows and stuff. And like that stuff's really cool. I'm still more into the VR side. Like I just want to get out of reality and see,
Right.
stuff. But there is a place for that stuff, and it is really
Hmm.
neat. I'm really excited. There's a Lego game coming out, VR game, um, very soon that you can basically you'll play on like your living room table or like coffee table type of thing. Um, a lot of the modders have been going nuts making games like that. Our friend, the Cactus Dev that makes all the Cactus Cowboy games, like he was the first one to publish a mixed reality game of Cactus Cowboy on the Quest 2. You can kind of resize it as big or small as you want, and it's just another just neat vantage point in the headset to see like playing something in your room, in your real space with a game. It's really neat to see that.
Yeah.
Um, I'm trying to think of the name. Oculus released this game that um, you start in your full world and your actual like my game room, and then as you start shooting these aliens, like you start just blowing up your own space, and then things start happening, and it is really cool. So like, I really enjoyed those kinds of experiences that they've put out. Um, Again, there's some titles are just kind of like cash grabbing on the MR side of things and just making silly things, but there's a lot of cool stuff to see too. So, um,
Yeah. The cash grabs and silly things are hard to probably filter out for a little while.
yeah, but uh, First Encounters is the name of that game. It's a free experience, so it's really cool. Highly recommend it. Um, yeah, so like the Quest 3 is out. I strongly urge anyone that's on the fence about getting one, go to Best Buy if you can and check it out. Um, the difference between Quest 1 and Quest 2 was pretty crazy. Like the Quest 2 has been great, but from the Quest 2 to Quest 3 is even kind of bigger, I think. The lenses are flat, it's lighter. Well, technically it's heavier, but it's balanced a little better. It feels lighter. Like I don't mind the strap that came with it. A lot of people don't, but um yeah, it the games that they've updated, and even some of them that don't, that you just kind of run as is, quite different, run a little quicker. I'm hoping to get Beth to try it because I wonder if with the flat lenses, if that helps kind of her nauseous or nausea not happen.
Hmm.
Maybe we'll see. Um, Moonshine Games, a friend of ours that makes a lot of uh little experiences, is making a ghost buster game type thing, and it's like a asynchronous game. So one person's on a controller on the PC and the other person's in VR. So I'm hoping I can get her to try that. We'll see. As soon as he's got that kind of done, he's going to send it over and have me test it. So I'm excited. Um, it actually looks more fun than the official Ghostbusters game coming out. Um, which there's a lot of controversy around right now, but
I haven't
um,
seen that.
it's
How can
just
you, how
that.
can
Oh, go
how
ahead.
can you have controversy over a Ghostbusters game? Like,
I don't want to speak bad about anyone, but it's I they won't. It's a Sony product because it's only well, it's not only on PlayStation. I don't. Yeah, it's not. It's on everything, or it will be, but it's a Sony game, so just
uh,
the nature of the beast. Like they're not giving copies out to content creators and air quotes influencers. I don't like that term, but those kinds of people. So those people are a little upset now. I don't know if it's because they're not getting keys or if it's actually something. So they're all like, well, if they won't give me a key, that it must be crap. Maybe they're right. Maybe they're wrong. I don't know. We'll find out. I think sometimes people just can't get past their own ego. Maybe I don't know. Um,
Well, I
I
don't know
get
if it's that, but it's also kind of like, are you bad mouthing a game because you didn't get a free copy? That's not bad. That has
yeah,
nothing to do with the game itself.
yeah. It's hard to tell, and like I said, I don't want to talk bad about anyone because I get it. Like I've kind of been there, but I just get over it and play it. See what happens. Um, yeah, there's another. I'm trying to think of the other. There's one other game kind of similar, like a Ghostbuster-ish type game, and that one looks pretty good too. So, um, yeah, I think the official game is like 30 or $40, and there's a couple games coming out at that price range. So it's like in the VR space, like it's got to be good if you're going to be charging that. Like Asgard's Wrath 2 is coming out in December. Got it for free with the Quest 3. They have a promotion going on till I think that does come out. Asgard's Wrath still my all-time favorite VR game on PC VR. So I already had it reserved. I just canceled my pre-order for that game. That's the only one I've pre-ordered. But when I got the Quest 3, obviously I didn't need that. So, um, but like Bulletstorm, the older Xbox game, they're making a VR version of that I didn't really
The
like it on Xbox, but on
Was it the
VR,
Cliffy B thing?
yeah, yeah, it actually makes kind of sense to be in VR and it looks pretty good. Like I think that's like $40. Like so, there's some games
That's
coming out like
interesting.
Assassin's Creed.
Yeah,
That's
that
I am so fucking pumped for that.
looks kind of dope.
I've seen and heard good things. Again, that's a Ubisoft game, so I've been trying to sneak my way into a key, but I haven't yet. I don't care.
Mm.
Like I'll pay it, I'll play it. I'm not gonna worry about it. But um, so it's kind of exciting if if those games work out. Not the price tag, but that you know games, bigger games coming. I'm all for indie stuff, but it's also exciting to see some of my favorite titles from like flat screen area come over. It it also, on the flip side of that coin, it's also scary because those of us in this VR space have enjoyed
Hmm.
goodwill and you know hanging out
Just
with
a
people and all that camaraderie. And I don't want the big names
sense of
coming in,
community. Yeah.
yeah, or coming in and ruining that. But it's probably inevitable, but we'll see. Uh, but if that helps move VR forward, maybe that's good. Maybe it's not. I don't know. Um, uh, One other thing, like with MR, like Demio, um, is has a MR version now, and you can like if you and I were in a room, you can anchor that table down and you just walk around it like the pool game, but you both see the same thing. It's kind of neat. Um, I'd like to get in a big space with that and just make it the size of the room and just be able to walk around it and play it like an actual game. That'd be pretty sweet. Um,
Yeah.
we'll see. It's
I
been crazy, a crazy couple months.
I would love. I don't know if you could do it because it's too kind of fast and complicated, maybe, but VR, like mixed reality in your room, like your pool table story, but with foosball.
Oh.
That would be kind of fun. I miss foosball.
Yeah, I haven't got to play foosball in a while. Funny story there. Like my previous spouse bought me a foosball table for Christmas a long time ago, and I love it. But I was like, where are we gonna put this thing? It's huge. We're in a small apartment, and so my sister has had it in their house for like 15 years, 10 years. I
Holy,
don't know.
I didn't even know
So yeah.
that.
So anytime we go visit, play some foosball, just check in on my table. Um, but yeah, even aside from all that stuff, like there's just been a lot of games have come out. A lot of games are getting like major updates, and there's a lot of games like coming out like soon. Like it's pretty crazy. Like kind of got to pace yourself. Your wallet will get mad at you.
Yeah,
Um,
really.
Elven Assassin, I'm super pumped. The first VR game Wookiee and I got into. They have a big update coming out soon. They've been adding maps and stuff, but they're adding a lot more soon, which again, I don't someone needs to explain this to me. Like game's been out 4, 5, 6, maybe 7 years, and this happens with a lot of VR titles. Like they've been around for a long time, but they keep growing and updating, and I'm hoping it's like a sales thing. I'm assuming it is, but they never charge for updates, content. You just own this game for 5 years, and every year it gets better. It's kind of a crazy model. Like I don't know how that's sustainable, but um, someone does.
Just like doing it. I don't know.
Yeah. Um, yeah, there's a couple games that I've been playing for years that have been coming out. Like there's a title called Undead Quest coming out, and I love the art. It's like a kind of like a Halloweenish title, so it's good that it's coming out soon. There's videos on YouTube. I've been playing it for a while, but it's like this really cool. It's like a ping pong game, but you're ping ponging enemies coming at you, and it's really neat. Like it handles really well. Like I said, I love the art style, the power ups. It's like humorous, and it's just really enjoyable. A lot of games like that coming out very soon, so we're gonna be very very busy. Uh,
Yeah, that's a lot.
I mean, I could keep going, but I won't because I've been talking a lot. So
I don't know how you just kept all that straight.
I don't either. Um, yeah. Trying to think of just I hate to like say, oh, I'm playing games that aren't on yet, but I'm just trying to make sure if there's anything else I can talk about that's cool because it's been a lot, so I'm trying to keep them straight so I don't get in trouble. um, but otherwise, Halloween season, Pistol Whip has released like 3 tracks, like Halloween tracks that are really cool, cool music. Get to shoot and smash skeletons. Um, Mother Gunship's one of the games I love just jumping in and playing for like a half hour. They have a Halloween theme thing going on. They always add like gun parts. If you haven't played that game, you start out with like a little gun and then you win parts by clearing rooms, and then your guns just keep getting bigger and you build on them and you can have them on each hand. And if you last long enough, you just have these like ginormous, weird, crazy freaking guns because they get out of control. So that's fun that they have a Halloween thing going on. I know there's a bunch of other ones, but they're not coming to mind right now.
I and the Dungeons of Eternity thing. It's like
Did you almost say Eternia or no?
maybe
Because
I think it was coming
I
out.
that's what it is in my mind, and I have to like double check when I like tweet or anything like that because I don't
I
know
don't.
why, but it's Eternia, and I'm like, no, that's not it.
I think my brain, pardon me, was doing that, and I'm not sure why.
Crazy.
But if the mechanics is ever super fun, like you said, that still it makes me want to check it out. But I just have a problem with like skeletons as enemies in games. Always have. I'm like literally a skeleton. Like that's it.
Like, is it kind of like a zombie, like just overdone,
Yeah,
or is it just like because it's an actual skeleton?
overdone. A little bit of both, maybe. Yeah, it's overdone.
Oh,
It's like zombies and stuff, but then it's just like, where's the ligaments, sir? It's just magic holding those things together. Pure will. Just that skeleton really wants to get back and pay its taxes. Keeping its shoulder in the socket. And I'm gonna. Have you seen all of Ahsoka?
yes.
And if anybody watching hasn't seen all of it, spoiler alert, skip ahead. But or listening and watching. At the end of there, they had like the zombie stormtroopers. And I was like,
Yeah, wasn't. super happy about that either.
And then the other guy used the word Ronin. And I was like, it's a very specific thing that wouldn't exist there.
Yeah. It is like not everything has to have everything. Come on.
That's it. Yeah, that was. I'm not going to go to full review of Ahsoka or anything, but sums up my feelings about the show. It's just like, no, darn it.
Yeah, it was I liked it. Parts were parts were like, oh, that's cool. And it's just like when those things popped up, I had to say like probably something like could have done without that. I would have been fine if you didn't do
Yeah,
that.
would have been better without it. Actively making it better, but yeah, it's zombies. There's something else I was going to say just about it too, but I forgot. Um, but yeah, the skeletons thing. It's just a huge like. I don't even buy the games usually. Um, yeah.
Um, Another game that got a really cool Halloween update, Walkabout Mini Golf has a whole haunted mansion you can play through. And I played through that with Let's Talk Oculus guys, and it was a lot of fun. A lot of cool stuff in there. Just the right amount of creepy. I don't like super creepy stuff in VR, but I love Halloween stuff, so that was perfect.
And I wasn't sure, but the one game we've been well, the one game, but somebody's saying, oh, must be earlier release. Thought I read today somebody was playing Return to Moria, Lord of the Rings.
That came out
Yeah,
today, didn't it?
that's what it looks like. But then
Yeah.
12 hours ago, somebody else said it's this now on PC and releases
The
December for PS5.
Yeah, the PS5 got bumped and then the Xbox is later than that.
But it's like, yeah, I've been kind of checking, not really watching for it, but checking. And I didn't know it was even coming out soon. It's like, oh, it's today. I'm like, what?
Yeah. I was gonna say something, but I'm like we've talked about earlier, like I don't know if you're playing any like Wookiee and I haven't really played much or hung out much recently either. That's how crazy things have been. So that's why the podcast kind of got put on hold a little bit. I was gonna bring that up, like, well, like I'll let him bring it up because I'm game, but I don't know if he is.
There's just so much going on. I haven't played the Vermintide in ages,
Hmm.
and they keep having like little update tweets, and I'm like, what's that about? What's that
Yeah,
about? And
that's
then they have a Halloween event, and I was kind of like, well, maybe I'll check that Halloween event. I don't know.
yeah, they have on Game Pass uh Warhammer Dark Tide, which is kind of the
Or
space
TS.
version of
Oh,
Vermintide. So it's the same thing with guns.
mm.
But the same, like just hundreds of guys coming at you, and it's gory as hell, and it's a lot of fun. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff, like even free stuff like Payday 3. Um, there's a few other things there's no time. Like there's too much.
And as soon as October hits and there's a little crisp coolness in the air, my significant other's like, it's Warcraft time of the year. It's like, oh God, no. Like we just played the crap out of that, and I don't know what happened. And then now it's like, here we go.
I'm game for that too. Like that is kind of like a winter game for me. I don't know what
Hmm.
that is, but
It came out in the winter,
yeah,
so
maybe that is what all it is. But yeah, I was enjoying. We were just running around doing old quest lines and
seeing the
goofing
redone
off, and
quest lines. I'm still game for it. I don't know what happened. I think I might have got a little burnout.
yeah, I mean, it happens. We started and stopped that game. Who knows how many freaking times?
Just keeps going on.
Yeah. Have you Do you guys watch any like Halloween stuff, or do you do anything around this time other than that, or?
Not really. I mean, if we party watch stuff, that would be the only time I would do it.
I have
Um,
been itching to watch Ernest Scared Stupid lately.
I would party watch that. Um, Yeah, she always wants to draw with chalk on the driveway. Does you have like a 35, 45-degree driveway slope? So
You
it
sure
would be
do.
kind of fun. Yeah, it's a steepy. It would be fun to draw on that. So she bought some sidewalk chalk, and it's still in the closet. So I think that would be the main thing. But then you know me, it's either like I'm just gonna scribble on it, or I'm gonna sit there and draw like Jack Skellington or something like crazy all over the thing. Like it's not done yet. I have to take 2 days off of work to finish this thing.
Yeah.
Um,
Then it rains.
I have to buy a tarp to put over my driveway.
That legit concerned you right there, didn't it? You're like, oh
It did.
shit.
My brain's already like, let's make a plan B and what's the word? Starts with a C. Never mind. Whatever. Something like a plan B for this hypothetical thing that I have the supplies for, but I don't intend to do.
Yeah. We've been watching, we try to watch some spooky stuff starting in September, and then we had a Halloween rock band where some people dressed up and played rock band all night. That was fun. But I don't know, I don't know. I'm sure it's just the old guy, me, like, trick or treating was much better when we were kids, but I would still go trick or treating if I could. But now it's like 4 o'clock. Like you can't be outside in the dark. um,
You can't. My
well,
kids can't.
they're not supposed to, I don't think. Maybe that's just a thing around Wisconsin, but yeah, they kind of changed all that. As far as I know, like people don't want you coming around their house in the dark. Um, and we don't go to bars and stuff, so it's like even if I wanted to dress up, what would I do? Like,
Yeah, you'd have to like have a party and then entice people to go to your party versus going to get hammered in
so
their crazy
that's
costumes. So, and I wouldn't want them hammered in my house, not to clean it up.
yeah.
I don't know. Have I ever been into anything like spooky? Like Justin from Tap Games is like, bring it on. He has some tweets he saw. What was it?
Yeah.
Evil Dead, the musical, which I think
Yep.
doing. He said it was gory. I'm like, wear your raincoat. Um, but like, I don't know if I've ever even like, I
Yeah,
mean,
not really.
I'm not really like scaredy cat, but I just like, I never really got it.
Yeah. There's like certain things that like I like the classic like monster movies and stuff like a
You've always
lot.
loved those, like the Black Creature from the Black Lagoon and stuff. I've never seen it, and you just talk about it all the time.
Yeah, I got them on Blu-ray and 3D, and we watched the first one last year. I haven't watched the second one this year yet because Beth was like, I kind of fell asleep. So I'm like, I guess I'll watch it myself. But
You need to fly down here for a week, and you can use the 3D on the projector. And I tell you, holy the 3D on this projector. I don't know if I showed it you the dragon scene from the third Hobbit movie.
you told me about it, yeah.
Like it's so much better than the TV downstairs. Like I don't use the 3D on the TV. I just if I need it, it's better on a projector. You just gotta
Yeah.
knock a wall out, expand your gaming room.
Yeah. Well, I mean, hopefully
Oh yeah.
we're building a house. I'll be in a house next year this time and we'll see how that goes. But won't be anything crazy. Um but yeah, we've never like growing up like we trick or treated and watched like Ghostbusters and shit, but never really got into much. Like I watched a lot of horror movies. They don't do anything for me. They don't bother me. They don't, you know.
There was
Having said that, we just watched it's such a weird name. What was it for a movie like that? Um shit. Talk to Me? Yeah, Talk to Me. I recommend that movie. It was suspenseful and we had a good time. We went to it in a theater with a friend, but like normally, like you and I and our other friend watched a couple of things in big screen and VR, and it was cool. But
not really anything spooky, like
yeah,
just bad B movies were the closest things. Like
yeah,
even I don't remember any good times really trick or treating, except for that one time when I wasn't even trick or treating, and we were out in the country, and that neighbor had that small patch of corn for whatever reason. It was like 18 feet by 18 feet. You remember that was on Alaska?
Mm-hmm.
He just had a small patch of corn, and then I like jumped out of that and scared some little kids, and they all dropped all their bags of candy and just hauled ass. And I was screaming like, "I'm just kidding! Come get your candy!" They would not come back and get their candy, and I'm sitting there like,
Well, you
"To
can't
let
leave
it
it
go
on
to
the ground.
waste?" Yeah, I mean, some poor cat's gonna come eat all this chocolate and get sick. So then I had like 3, 4 bags of candy, and I remember I'm sure I ate it all. I felt so bad. Like that was the extent of my trick or treating. Like
Yeah.
I don't, I don't think I ever went.
Yeah, I have a weird taste, like I was saying, like we watched Beetlejuice for the first
Hmm.
time in a long time.
We just watched
Um
it not a few months back.
every other year or so I'll watch the Ghostbuster movies. Stuff like the animated stuff like Monster House or Paranorman. Those are in 3D, so those are fun to watch. But you
Over
know,
the Garden something, Over the Garden Wall. Keep meaning to watch that.
I think I watched that last year.
We were
But
gonna watch that in big screen, and it's like I don't know what happened.
yeah.
But like those are the cozy vibe things I'll watch. Like Sleepy Hollow. I used to really like that one with Johnny Depp because I'm a Johnny Depp fan. And it was kind of just bonkers,
Yeah.
but it wasn't really anything scary.
And there's
I
always
don't
like
know.
Nightmare Before Christmas, but it's like, is it a Halloween movie or a Christmas movie? Like, what the hell?
Yeah,
But
and
the
yeah,
more you watch, I watched that one personally, like it kind of gets really boring the more I see it.
I know. I've seen it literally. That's like a classic. I've seen it maybe 3 times in my entire life. The first time I was like, that was artistic as crap.
Yeah.
Second time I watched it, I'm like, I never need to watch this again. It's good in my memory,
Yeah.
but I don't know. I hate to say that, but I'm not going to sit there and be like, oh, it's just the best movie ever just because it's got like, no, I can't do it. And then the other one that was kind of basically the same thing with the girl with the
Oh, Matt Coraline or
Coraline, yeah. And I
yeah.
was like, I watched it and I was like, I don't think I finished that one. Not that there was anything bad. It was just like, that's the same thing.
Yeah.
Not to diminish the art. I mean, I could stare at the art and watch clips all day, but I just can't sit
Hmm.
through that. Maybe it's the story. I don't know.
Yeah, I
Chad,
think
I wish I was more of a Halloween person.
yeah, I love the fall like most people, but like the stuff we watch, it's pretty light, so I don't mind it. I kind of enjoy it, but I don't know. Seems like
Now,
I always feel like there was something I didn't watch and I can never think of it. And I have that feeling every year. Like there's just one movie out there that I could watch and it'd be perfect. And I couldn't
never
even tell
find
you.
it.
Yeah.
And then you're like, the holiday's gone, and you're like, I still didn't find it this year. I forgot and I
Yep.
waited or whatever. But now, if I actually went to somewhere in England that kind of felt like Sleepy Hollow era time, and it looked like that, and it had dead trees and leaves and stuff, that would actually creep me out.
Yeah.
Um, I don't remember what. I think it is New England towns. Like significant other, she likes to subscribe to those. I don't know if it's Twitter or what, but like rich or like mansions on sale, like for not much. She'll just show me like, hey, here's some stuff in Ireland that's like $4 million for some odd reason. And she'll show me these really intricate houses and stuff. She showed me this one that was like a main like harbor town, and just the buildings look like old school houses kind of thing, just the way they're shaped. You're looking right in my eyes right now. And again, you're on my projector, so your head is like a foot tall. As I'm talking, you're looking literally right in my eyes, and I'm sitting here like explaining to you, like I'm shaping these houses with my hands, but you can't, it feels like you can see that, but you can't.
You don't know
Um,
that. It's
if you
Halloween
can,
time
then,
after
then
all.
it's then it's looking like this. I should just draw you on my projector screen, just scribble your face. Um, But like those photos actually gave me the willies. And it's just a quaint little town, but it still all looks kind of like those old buildings or like updated versions of them. I didn't like those pictures. I was like, I'm not looking at that. I don't know what happened. So like maybe
There's
I
a
watched.
whole our friend Jackson was telling me about that. There's like a whole Reddit on that. I can't remember what it's called, but it's something.
There's like
Yeah.
that photo you took of the on your PJ's daily photos, um, nature walk photos, the big rusted windmill in the grass. There's a whole phenomenon about like abandoned places.
Mm-hmm.
So that
Yeah.
might be what you're thinking of. I don't know if there's one like this is a lived in town. Like it's just a little
No,
rural
it's
town,
like
but
just photos that capture that feeling type of thing that
that
kind of
okay.
creep you out type of thing.
Like I wouldn't be able to go there like for like a weekend. I don't know why I just said there like a pirate.
Arr.
Or I wouldn't be. There may be a lighthouse, but I still can't make it on land. There are. I don't know what it is about that architecture and that style. I think since I don't know if the houses in the town like our parents grew up in,
Too much Sleepy Hollow for you.
that's what I said earlier. Like maybe I just watched that too much, but it's like that look is so iconic to me, but it's also deeply disturbing, and I don't know why, because I don't really care about Salem witch trials. Yeah, I'm sure that was creepy, but and nothing to do with me. But what it is about those photos, I don't know. So that's like the essence of Halloween for me, maybe. Like just
Yeah.
don't go there. Don't investigate it. Don't poke the bear.
I been hiking a lot and I'll be like with the time change hasn't happened, but it gets doesn't get light out for a long time. So I've been going still at the same time, like 5 in the morning, and it's fucking black in the forest. Like, and some mornings, like I don't care, but then there's some morning, like I have a pretty active imagination. So if I let it go, like I'll start creeping myself out a little bit. Like, okay, like especially since like normally at that time of day and with the lighting, there there's no birds, there's no
Hmm.
sound at all, and that is what kind of creeps me out.
Yeah.
um
We're made to be afraid of that because that's when the animals stop talking. That means there's something weird going on, and then you should
yeah.
not be there. So yeah.
So then I normally don't carry a flashlight or anything. I have my phone, but you know, I'll just walk through the dark because it's one of my favorite experiences. I've been trying to explain to some people is I already forgot. It's like nautical, not eclipse, but twilight, nautical twilight, I think. So before actual sunrise happens, like it starts to get a little light out.
Hmm.
And I swear to God, it's like the coolest thing I've ever witnessed. And you have to kind of be out there at the right time. And it's like, depending on your area, it's like 30 minutes before sunset, but you have to have kind of been out there in the
Sunrise.
dark. Yes, sunset, sunrise. Yeah, sorry.
Sunrise.
Um, so it's pitch black and it'll get light. And I swear to God, like it gets like over bright, like almost like you're looking at a screen with the brightness cranked up.
Hmm.
And then it's like, oh, that's cool. And then it gets dark again, and then the sunrise comes up. And it's like I've kind of experienced it like a handful of times now because I've been going out there like a goofball and then super pitch black. But it's like the coolest thing.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, I and you can't like at least with my phone, I all the pictures I take are with my phone and it's an older phone, so you can't really capture it, but it's like the neatest feeling and
I
yeah, it's
wonder
really
what causes
crazy.
that. Like the sun is almost at the horizon, so the light's kind of bouncing through the horizon or around it.
Yeah, it's something
Let's
like
see.
that. That's why I thought it's called like nautical, whatever I said, but I'm assuming they kind of noticed that on the ocean, a long time ago when there weren't really lights or anything. So
I'm sure it's worse on the ocean because you don't have
yeah,
hills and trees. Do you carry a walking stick or anything?
no, like those mornings where I do get in my own head, it's like, okay, stupid, at least have a flashlight or like maybe a walking stick, but you know, I've seen the weirdest animal I've seen in our area because I mean they're like bears, but they're I've only seen a bear once in my life in this area, and wasn't in the woods. But I have these pictures of this. It's like a, it could be a bobcat, could be a lynx, because I guess those are in our area. Like
Mm.
it was a cat. Like it was like 30 feet away and 30 feet up the tree, and it was like watching me. Like, and I was like, and I heard like something else behind it. So I'm like, it's probably the mother. So then I kind of went on a different path, got away
Yeah,
from it. But because I don't need that in my daily life, like a
right.
ravaging cat. But
I remember your face. Like,
yeah,
oh,
but I mean, other than that, there's raccoons and stuff, but they normally don't bother you. Have a couple crazy videos of them kind of walking up on them. Like that's the thing. Like I scare the shit out of deer all the time. Like I just like I'll walk right up on them and they don't know I'm there, and then all of a sudden they freak out and like do their noise and leave. And I've done that to like raccoons, squirrels, like, and I'm not being quiet. So I'm like, you guys just getting lazy or what? Like,
see, you're doing it with confidence. Like if you act like you know you're supposed to be there, then nobody's going to question you.
yeah,
So you're
could
like
be.
social engineering these deer.
Yeah. Like I took a friend of mine from work, like we went on a hike together, and the first time he went out with me, like we scared the deer, and this deer was so scared, like it was running down the trail at us, and like it was not gonna stop. So then I kind of like moved at it, and then it like turned. Like, what the hell? Because I've shown you some videos that have
Yeah.
taken like, what the hell is this? Um, so yeah, that's been pretty crazy. I took one video, it was kind of neat, and a couple pictures of like coming out of the forest, or where you can kind of just see like a little globe of light, and then it's just more darkness. It's just a lighter shade. It looks kind of cool, but yeah, people are like, "What's wrong with you? Like, what if you got hurt or something?" I'm like, well, then I got hurt. I don't know. Like, it's
You
fun.
get
I
hurt.
like it.
You can hurt just getting up out of your chair if you sit there too long.
Yeah, if I don't get out there and move around, it'll hurt to try to move around.
Yeah.
um,
Hmm.
yeah, I've been doing that a lot, hike a lot, so it's fun.
Well, obviously, you've been doing those walking challenges or whatever, and you're going to throw the ring in the volcano after what, 2 months?
Very close.
It's a road.
It that part of the movie, if in those movies, like that part of that movie does feel long, and I'm sure it's
Hmm.
intentional. Like that's how long this challenge has felt. Like, am I done yet? Like, holy crap! One of them went quick, the rest have been okay, and this one's just like, what the hell? Am
It's the
my steps
slog.
not registering? Like, what's going on? Like, I'm not gonna make my, because you kind of set your own day like goals, like how many days it'll take, and it doesn't matter. But I'm like, I'm not gonna make it, but I'm gonna make it. So
So you're about to get, I guess, to the cracks of doom. $10. I don't know if I'll actually send you a $10 bill or anything like that, but I guess metaphorically, $10 if you can tell me the name of that doorway into the mountain.
oh yes, I can't remember a fucking name of a game I played yesterday. You want me to remember that? I no.
It's Samoth Nar. You've listened to the audiobooks.
Many times.
There's no excuse for this shit. He says it like once at the end of the book when there's all that other stuff going
Yeah.
on.
Yep.
Don't know how I remember it, but
You actually read the books. I listen to the audiobooks and watch the movies, and they don't say that. So
they might even say it in the old Return of the King cartoon.
I've been meaning to watch those again. It's been too long.
They're still pretty good. I mean, wacky and different, and they misrepresent half the characters, but they're still charming.
Yeah.
The best one's probably The Hobbit, because since they didn't make the first two and they just relied on the Ralph Bakshi one that made the half of the three, you're
Yeah.
missing the second half of the second one, and then you just like, let's throw it in there. But it's still, I'm pretty sure that John Huston Gandalf says that when he's narrating part of it. Or my head just says it in his voice. Yeah. Yeah. Back on the Halloween thing, skeletons in games, zombies in games. I don't know. I do have a movie called The Dead Don't Die or something like that. It's got Kylo Ren in it. I don't remember his name. Adam Driver, maybe.
Yeah.
It's got the Tilda Swinton in it, and it looks like a comedy. The preview I saw looked really funny. I think Adam Driver is like a small town hick cop kind of a
Hmm.
character, like, standing there, weird shit going on. He's just like, what? I might watch that now that I say that.
You have to let me know because I didn't know he was a person until Star Wars.
Hmm.
Um, apparently most people did.
Some
Um,
people thought about it, yeah.
those movies were, what they are, but like I've seen him in a few movies, and I'm like, I like that guy. I didn't really like him in Star Wars, but I don't think that was his fault. So
Yeah. Now, he did I think the duel, which I still haven't seen. It's like the last like actual sword duel like ever
yeah,
took
I
place or documented.
I
I
meant to
didn't
watch
watch it.
that, and I haven't watched it yet.
He looked cool in that one next to Matt Damon. But the best thing I've ever seen him in is a Saturday Night Live skit where they're making fun of his like undercover boss, but he was playing like Kylo Ren and everyone else was playing like stormtroopers. He was really freaking funny in that. And then there's a SNL skit with him in it where he's like a medieval times actor
Nice.
and like legit they're in medieval times kind of thing. And he's also like in the skit, his character is like an acting student. So he's going like way overboard, like insulting people with his acting kind of. They're like, wait a minute, that one's pretty funny. So you should look up his Saturday Night Live skit. I think we have the same taste in that where it's like I can't watch a whole episode, but some of those
Yeah.
skits are worth it.
Nice.
Um, we've gone on about Halloween. I guess if anybody happens to listen to this has good examples of zombie and skeletons as, villains or characters or something like that that argue with me. I mean, literally, I see it. And I'm like, okay, I gotta go to bed. I'm done, and that just rubs me the wrong way. I just don't. It's so cheap,
Yeah.
so cheap. And here, I had an undead rogue. Still have him for the longest time in Warcraft because they were really cool. The undead race in there is actually really well done, and it makes sense. So I guess it's not as bad. It's part of the story. It's not just like, oh, Call of Duty zombies. Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Have you started building ships in Starfield yet?
Haven't even touched it. It took me a while. I did like a quest line to add a few things without spoiling anything. And it took me a long time to figure out what they were trying to get me to do to add. Like it was confusing, and
Mhm.
I play a lot of games, so it shouldn't have been that confusing to me. So I'm like, how does someone non-gamified figure this out? Maybe it's easier for them. I don't know, but um,
There's it's a
it
fair
wasn't
point.
intuitive.
There's a lot of stuff in Starfield where it's kind of like, where is that and what? Like, I don't know if they're trying to see if people can live without certain UI elements or something like that, but I get that.
Yeah,
I actually, hmm?
I mean, I'm all game for that too, but like, I love trying to figure things out. I don't like everything just here you go, here you go. But this one was straight up like I'm about to look this up. I don't know what the fuck I'm supposed to do with this part and where it goes, and
I
then
have,
it finally clicked. But
unfortunately, I've looked a couple things like that up because it's like, what?
yeah, it was bizarre. Like that
I
does not make sense to my brain.
I usually think it's a bug because like the spaceships, again, I've been making spaceships left and right. I can't rename any of them anymore. It just doesn't work. Like I'll get there and I'll rename the spaceship, and I renamed that first one I made, the one of the original. But everything I've captured since then, it's like Crimson Fleet Captain, and I can't change the name. So like I'm like, am I doing it wrong? And I have to Google that. And then it's like, well, this over here is like it's missing. It's not really, a bug. Sometimes it's just not in there. But I've actually used console commands to expand the size of the ship a little bit because I need a little bit more space, and then the number of parts. I'm like, I need this just like the Lego story from Kmart. Like, I need just like these four more parts to fit on here. Um, I don't know if we can post them if you want to post them in the show notes, but like there's a EVE Online ship called a Manticore. It's just a little bomber version of one of the ships. And it's like, saw a screenshot, don't know how I came across. I'm like, I could make that Starfield. And I did. And Nicole's girlfriend was like, oh, that's really cool looking. Like, she's like, how did you do that? I'm like, I cheated. I made it bigger. um, but yeah, it looks pretty cool. And I've changed up how I do stuff, but I won't tell you how I'm doing the weapons because it's like really once you figure out a couple of parts, depending on how you use your ship, if you want to like capture ships versus just blow them up,
Mm-hmm.
I figured out a way that like, oh, I just overload this here and do that, and I just go, and then I can capture the ship really easy. So it does that, and then since in the EVE Online it's a bomber, I just the most damaging torpedo, whatever, are on that too. So in like 3 seconds, I haven't found a ship I can't kill in like 3 seconds with it. It's supposed to be a small ship like in Eve, but in here it's just to get it to look right. It's actually quite massive. Um, so I've had to find a console command to when you're in your ship to zoom out your camera, so I'm not looking at my butthole, kind of thing. Um, but that is making it fun because I'm like, well, I could fly around piecing together the ship I want, but I don't really care for most of the ship designs in the game. I like how it's very realistic. They're just like scaffolding and structure and a thruster here and there.
Mm-hmm.
But if you shove enough parts there and cram them on top of each other where they're not supposed to be that way, you can make them look a little bit more like a Star Wars kind of ship. So then I'm like, well, if I keep flying around, I want to fly around in a ship I like instead of like, you know, in a jalopy that I don't care about. And then
Yeah.
that's the last mission I played. I've just literally been taking out bounties to build up money to build ships. I don't remember where I'm at in the story. Um,
Well, whatever lets you enjoy it. That's pretty cool.
yeah, I mean it's kind of fun that way, but you can spend endless hours however you want to in those kind of games. The Skyrim style stuff. So literally I'm just a ship crafter now. And I'll hit a new spaceport and I'll check out the parts and be like, oh hey, this 3x3 storage room. Do I want a different model, like a different manufacturer storage room to see if it looks different? Then I break half the ship and I'm like, should have done that. But yeah, I'll just change up the ship parts to see how the interior slightly looks different. And that'll be like, wait, what was I doing? That'll be like 40 minutes out of my hour of playtime that I had set up. I'm like, oh, I was supposed to do a quest.
Yeah. Like, all right, I got that done. I'm gonna do something, and then like you're like, oh, time for bed.
Yep. Well, I could
I
clear
hate
this
that.
big ship out, or I could just save it while I'm docked to it and hope it saves, leads me right back where I'm at before I lose it all. That has been the entirety of my gaming for I don't know when that came out. Was that 9.1? I think they got
Yeah.
the special edition with the watch and the case.
Yep.
Yeah, which means
It's-
I've completely forgotten how to play Baldur's Gate D&D.
Yep. Need to retire or add a day to the week or some shit.
Got to win the lottery or some shit.
Yeah.
Got enough time for everything. But I could go on and on about that all day. You got any other points for
I think
VR
I
and other
had
worlds?
one an hour ago, but I forgot. I'm totally kidding. Um, I guess, we've been going for an hour and 20 or so. So we're gonna wrap it up. But next week we'll have a guest again, our first guest in months. It'll be Dima, the lead guy that brought you the awesome game Sushi Ben that just released last week. Um, Very excited to talk to him. He's, for those of you who listen a lot, hopefully you're still around. He was on most of the roundtable episodes, so you're familiar with him. But years later, he finally got the game out, and excited to hear about it and get some more details on it. He's kind of tight-lipped through the process, obviously for reasons, but hopefully now he can share more and tell us some stories behind the scenes. And
Well, the craziest fact was a week or two ago, he tweeted that one of his characters is voiced by one of the villains of like the main villain of the first season of Bleach, like
yeah,
Aizen. Like I had to sit there. I'm like that Aizen. Like how does that happen?
yeah, it's the voice acting is top notch. Fun game. I'm enjoying it. Um, Real quick, funny quick story. I made a couple videos, and he's like, for launch, and even though I had like the new build, I recorded the stuff on the build before, and like I don't want to start over. That's kind of like the crux of you know content creation and early access stuff. Like you want to show the release stuff, obviously, for many
Hmm.
reasons. And I didn't see a difference. Like I still have both videos, and I watched them side by side. I'm like, dude, you're the only one that's gonna notice. He's like, yeah, but I'm like, that's fine. So I replayed, got to where I was again, and kind of redid the couple videos I had made. I'm like, all right, I'm caught up. I'm good. um, just kind of funny, but yeah,
Perfectionist.
yeah, I get it. So yeah, really fun game. A lot of stuff to do in that world. It's like being in an anime, so it's really cool. Voice acting's great. Gameplay, there's a lot of different, I wouldn't say like mini games, but like you can fish and like ghost hunt, not like Ghostbusters, but and a lot of other things. So really fun. It has a good sense of humor and good charm to it. So happy to see it finally come out. Been hearing about it for a long time, been playing it for a while. Yeah. So can't wait to talk to him next week. So yeah, we wanted to
Good
do
chat.
this episode, get caught up, test things out. Um we didn't live stream this, but recorded it, so release the video and audio, and then play around with like sharing screens. So when we're talking to Dima, we can show the game off a little bit while we talk. One thing we'll be able to do that we haven't been able to do yet in VR, when we're live streaming, we can probably watch chat on YouTube and actually reply to people, see how that goes.
Yeah.
Be a whole new world until we get a new studio thing going, whenever
We'll
that
get
is. So
we'll get we'll try to get the YouTube chat piped into that too. I'm sure
yeah,
there's a plugin or something
but
that I can leverage.
odd being back. It's been a couple months, but a lot going on. So if I can stay chatty, there's a lot going on. So here we are.
Here we are. Thanks for sticking with us this long, literally and metaphorically. Little double
That's
entendre there.
funny. On Twitter, two different people mentioned like the spatial ape days in the same day. I'm like,
Yeah,
that's bizarre. um,
little Dave.
but yeah, thanks everyone. Like we said, for hanging out, listening, watching, all that fun stuff. At least like my head isn't too different from the little white orbs we have in our VR space. Maybe that helps. Uh, yeah,
They'll be making a comeback. Don't worry. The orbs, I mean.
We have plans. We just need time to make those plans happen. But
I just want
yeah,
stuff to calm down.
Yeah.
Like girlfriend's with her sister having some crazy life altering surgery today. I mean, it's just like one thing after another.
Yep.
Which went well, thankfully.
Yeah, that's good.
So
So yeah, we'll see you all next week. And
put your game face on. Put your costumes on. Will that actually be on the 31st? That'll be on Halloween. Or no, that's a week from today.
no, that's Tuesday.
This is
Halloween's
Thursday,
on a Tuesday.
which is a week from today. So it's just in November. Okay. I'll still be eating candy.
Yeah, November 2nd, Thursday, 7 p.m. Central. Be live streaming all the normal stuff we normally do. So join the fun.
Be there or be square.
All right.
Thanks for listening. I'm waving bye to you. And
That's why you wave first. I can see you.
I did not. Now I know you're lying. Bye.